Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiots here, and it is a double W opportunity today with both the Toronto Raptors and the Raptors 905 playing games this evening. 7 o'clock tip-off at College Park with the Raptors 905 versus the SkyHawks. And 7:30, Raptors are hosting the champion Oklahoma City Thunder for their annual visit to Canada to play us here at Scotiabank Arena. I've got the preview for both games. We'll go over all the stuff you need to know as far as the referees and the latest lineup news. We got the classic card. We got the Redditor of the day. We've got the Instagram stories. We've got the straight goods on Canadian goods. All the classic, all the Raptor Freak segments are set up for you, and let's get right into it. Sorry about the misstart because of the microphone not connecting to the computer. This problem that I have with this is I think that sometimes they don't communicate right, this thing and the thing you're filming through right now, and there's not a connection. And then I'll get on here and I'll be like, and it sucks. And like, somebody's here to tell me, yeah, we can't hear you, but I can check it because I have a monitor here that'll show whether the sound's recording or not. So yeah, I hate when that happens. This is something that happens on a regular basis still. And I'm not even sure why it happens. I think it has to do with like just connectivity. It's weird. But either way, we get it worked out and we get it right. And we still get on the air 5 minutes early because we like to get to the spot early and beat the other team. That's right. Get there early and we can beat them. So yeah, let's get right into it. Let me just do the quick comments from the other stream really fast before I get in the preview. Daniel Barry, good morning. What's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Good morning to you, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Thank you for watching my channel. Trevor J's words of wisdom this morning. When your mindset is set on God's plan and his will, nothing can truly disturb your peace. Even when things don't go your way, your heart stays grounded and you learn not to react to every situation. Stand steady. God is in control today. I love this message. This is part of having a faith, a blind faith, that your higher power, whether it's God, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Vishnu, whether it's Buddha, whether it's whoever you believe in, Muhammad, it doesn't matter. Your higher power has you and is looking out for you, because that's the whole thing about religion, is that there's something above you that you need to be humble for, as far as that's something that's more powerful than you. This is what we use in AA, is like you need a higher power, something that you'll give up your ego to and say, you know what, I need to do this because this is right. So blind faith in your higher power, even in times of adversity, if you stay steadfast to your values and your beliefs, your higher power will reward you in the end. So yeah, I appreciate the words of wisdom from Trevor. Blessings to the Jones family and all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. That's right. Happy game day. Let's go. That's right, Trevor. And Jimmy, the Pope of Positivity, is feeling good about today. Yeah, that's right, Jimmy. And, there's reasons to feel good about the Raptors' chances against the Thunder today because, well, we beat them in Oklahoma City, and they were more healthy when we beat them on their own court. And now we're playing them here in Toronto, and they have key injuries. Let's just put it that way. Let's go right into it and let you guys know what's going on. We found out yesterday by Blake Murphy's tweet that Jakob will be sitting today because it is a back-to-back. We're playing the first Western Conference team, number one, the Oklahoma City Thunder, today. And tomorrow we're playing the second Western Conference team, the San Antonio Spurs, and a home-and-home, back-and-back. And, to manage Yak's back, well, his former team, and in some ways, Wemby. We probably need Jakob more for the Spurs game than the Thunder game. So he is out tonight. So no Jakob Poeltl tonight against the Thunder. Calculated night off for the back-to-back to play him tomorrow night against San Antonio. So, but the good news is Scottie's back. Whatever personal reasons had Scottie away from the team, he will be back in uniform for the Raptors tonight, wearing number 4 out there against the champion Thunder. So that's a fantastic person to have coming back, the all-star, the great Scottie Barnes. So, yeah, the other person out for the Raptors right now is Chucky Hepburn, and that's it. Everybody else is healthy. So we're resting Yak for a back-to-back on the first game of back-to-back, and everybody else is there except for Chucky. So we're running. We got our full complement. Now the other side of things for Thunder is not good, man. These guys are in trouble. First of all, we know Thomas Sorber has been out for most of the season due to a torn ACL. He is still out right now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, the great Canadian from Hamilton, that we found out in the last day that the Team Canada is going to play some games in Hamilton this summer. The good Team Canada, the premium Team Canada, are going to play some games this summer in Hamilton with SGA and RJ Barrett and Jamal Murray. So, yeah, get your tickets for that. Team Canada qualifiers coming this summer. But, yeah, SGA is out today. He is going to miss a few, I don't know how many more days, but he's missing today due to an abdomen injury. So an injury in his midsection. Jalen Williams, their all-star from a couple of years ago, is out currently right now with a hamstring injury. He did not play in the first game when we played against the Thunder earlier this year, and he will not be playing for them today either. So no J-Dub versus the Raptors this season. AJ Mitchell is out right now due to an abdominal strain himself. So we got these abdominal problems. Their stomachs are hurting for some reason. And then Chet Holmgren was added to the injury list yesterday, guys. So this is another all-star for the Thunder that may not be playing today. He is questionable today with back spasms. So Chet is having back issues right now. Now, everybody going to say Chet Holmgren's washed up and old because he has back problems already, even though he's just like a couple years in his career. Come on now. And y'all talk about Jakob Poeltl, 10 years into his career and his issues. Well, who's going to come around and say all the same shit about Chet Holmgren and the Thunder? Okay? Yeah. Go ahead. Start talking about his back issues. Go ahead. Seriously. Alex Caruso, the veteran champion off the bench for the Thunder, is also questionable today due to a left ankle sprain. So these are key players. You got the three guys that have been all-stars for the Thunder in the last couple of years that are questionable or out. And then you got the leader, Alex Caruso, off the bench out. So these are key players. These are main players of the Thunder. And, well, the other thing is the Thunder have not been just winning outright like they did at the beginning of the season. They went crazy and lost only one game in like the first 2 months of the regular season. But they've been losing a lot more often now, as evidence as they did lose to the Milwaukee Bucks, the team that we just beat on Sunday when they went to Milwaukee just before the All-Star break. They lost to them. So they're susceptible. This is actually a fantastic time of the year for us to play the Thunder. It wouldn't be in November. No. It wouldn't have been a nice time to play them then. But we're catching them at a good time now. Trust me on this. So who are the Thunder going to probably start today? Well, I'm going to guess it'll be Cason Wallace, Luguentz Dort, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, and Jalen Williams. Or maybe Isaiah Hartenstein's actually healthy right now. So Isaiah Hartenstein at center, maybe Jalen Williams at power forward, Isaiah Joe at small forward, and Cason Wallace at point guard with Luguentz Dort, of course, of Team Canada. So, we're playing a much easier this team's not easy to play no matter what, but it's a lot easier without SGA. That's for sure. A lot easier. Who else is on the Thunder at this point? Well, since we saw them, their player Nikola Topic has returned from testicular cancer. Yeah, this is a crazy story. This guy was out for like a year and a half, and he returned this a couple weeks ago. And he is playing for them now again. So Nikola Topic is back. I've named Cason Wallace earlier. He is playing. Aaron Wiggins, Jalen Williams with a YLINN. The other Jalen Williams, the guy who comes off the bench. You know what I'm talking about. They just recently got Jared McCain in a weird transaction out of Philadelphia. So Jared McCain, a very highly sought, touted player, who Kyle Lowry loves, is a Thunder now, and he has been playing for them. So he's a new addition to the team that we have to take note of. This is similar to Cam Thomas for Milwaukee on Sunday. So we'll see Jared McCain in a Thunder jersey today. Also out there, Kenrich Williams. We know about him. Brandon Carlson is going to be here today to play against the Raptors. That's about it. That's their bench, guys. Yeah, they're hurt, and their most talented players are hurt, and that's a big deal. And meanwhile, the Raptors, well, I'll speculate that we're going to get a notorious barbecue combo today. Yeah, what's on the menu for the Raptors and starting lineup? A notorious barbecue combo. That's right. The notorious BI3, Mr. Barrett, Mr. Barnes, and Mr. Quickley. And, of course, the combo is Mr. Murray-Boyles. So that's what I'm guessing will be the starting lineup for the Raptors tonight against the Thunder. A notorious barbecue combo is going to be served at the truck window. That's right. That's what they'll be serving. The ESPN matchup predictor has the Thunder winning 61% currently right now. They think the Thunder is going to win 61%. Now, looking at their schedule recently, this is interesting. They're trending, they've won 4 out of their last 5. So the Thunder are still doing pretty good. That one loss was to Milwaukee, but they beat Cleveland Sunday, which is fantastic. Thank you for beating Cleveland. They beaten Brooklyn, Phoenix, and the Lakers in the last 5 games also. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good stuff there with the Oklahoma City Thunder, 4 out of 5. So they have been kind of playing okay considering they don't have SGA. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's do a little bit more. Let's switch gears a little bit, and let's do the G League team that they're playing today, because there's something interesting about College Park SkyHawks. The Raptors 905 do have Jonathan Mobo and the two-ways with them. Elijah Martin and A.J. Lawson are with Andrew Jones in the two-ways in College Park, and so is Jonathan Mobo. Jonathan Mobo is not available to the Raptors against the Thunder tonight with Trace Jackson Davis and Colin Murray-Boyles and things like that. They're good, and Jonathan can be utilized by Andrew Jones on the G League level. Now, who's on the College Park SkyHawks at this point? We played the SkyHawks already twice this year in the other part of the tournament side of the season. I went to one of the SkyHawks games personally and sat at courtside and saw them beat the SkyHawks in the second game of the season this year. That's right, because we played them both. The first games of the season, I believe, were the College Park SkyHawks, and we haven't played them since, last November. Well, they changed. Their team has been changed a bit, and there's some new names on the list for the College Park SkyHawks on their roster. So I'm going to go over them real quick. Some of them are the same names, but there is some very important new names on here. And it may be part of the reason why you want to have double duty watching the 905 along with the Raptors game tonight, because it's interesting. Chandler Baker's on this team out of Colgate. Darren Boyd, Ray J. Dennis, the NBA player that played for the Indiana Pacers, he is on this team. Scotty's friend from Mississauga, Caleb Houston, is on this team at this point. We know Caleb. Caleb's a Canadian, and he has been on the Orlando Magic, but now he's on the Hawks, and he is playing on the G League team also. Kobe Johnson is on this team out of UCLA. Bashir Jihad is on this team. Dwight Murray, Isaiah Moore, Asa Newell, the first-round pick of the Atlanta Hawks, Tyler Poley, Eric Reynolds, MJ Walker, and finally, out of Arizona at 6'11", 225 pounds, Christian Coloco. That's right. There's a very high chance that the Raptors 905 will be playing against Christian Coloco today in Atlanta against the College Park SkyHawks. So there you go. There's your preview of the College Park SkyHawks real quick. And yeah, our guy Coloco is on their team right now. So it could very well be we see an Olivier Sarr versus Christian Coloco matchup later tonight in College Park. So yeah, there you go. We'll do the refs for the College Park game right now real fast. In Atlanta, it will be Italo Rarujo as the crew chief today, number 19. The referee is JP Prem, number 64. And the umpire will be Tommy Wu, number 71. So there's your ref report for the G League game with the 905 and the SkyHawks. Now, let's do the ref report for the Raptors here in Toronto against Oklahoma City. In the replay center in Secaucus tonight, Andy Nagy, Ashley Moyer-Gleish, Brett Barnecki, and Jenna Schroeder. So that's the 4-person crew in Secaucus monitoring all the games tonight. And those aren't bad refs. So here in Toronto, our crew chief tonight. This is interesting. We have an interesting crew tonight. Rep Report pretty undefeated lately. And I just want to give the warnings when I can. Kevin Cutler is our crew chief tonight, number 34 out of Los Angeles, California, his 16th season. He's that really big ref. Like, I don't know. I don't want to call him Shrek, but the dude is built like Shrek. He's a very big ref. He's like the size of NBA players. In fact, he looks like he could play power forward center in the NBA. Kevin Cutler. You know the ref I'm talking about. He's the one who threw Freddie out after in the third quarter in a game like years ago. And I was like, why are you bullying little Fred, you big bully? That's what I was saying. Favorite TV show is Homicide, Life on the Street. He likes to listen to Luther Vandross. His favorite book is Positive Intelligence. His favorite meal is chicken. He'd most like to visit Africa. He'd like to play 20 of the top 100 U.S. golf courses. And his hidden talent is playing the trumpet. Cool. That's very cool. Kevin Cutler refereed for 6 seasons in the NBA G League, working 2 final series in the 2018 All-Star Game. He also spent 6 years as a college basketball official, including assignments to the 2009 NIT tournament and the 2010 NCAA tournament. Yeah, Kevin's a big dude. I think he is like about 6'9". Seriously. He's a big, big dude. Now, he seems to be, let's see. Well, we've had him twice this year so far. This will be the 3rd game that Kevin Cutler is referee for the Raptors this year. And both the games he reffed earlier this year were both wins. So we're 2-0 this season with Kevin Cutler. Our overall percentage with Kevin Cutler for his career is 51% winning percentage. Now, the Thunder have a really good percentage with him, 57% winning percentage. So the split is 51-57 for the Thunder with the crew chief, Kevin Cutler. Yeah, get ready for this trend. Seriously. The second ref is Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith is in his 10th season, number 51. He has not refereed a Raptors game this year yet. He's out of Pennsylvania, Westchester. He likes the TV show Top Boy. He likes the movie The Martian. He listens to John Legend. His favorite book is Born a Crime. Favorite meal, any breakfast. His favorite app is Peloton. He'd like to visit Thailand and Vietnam. And his bucket list is to be on Jeopardy. That's pretty cool. What is NBA referee Aaron Smith? Oh, that's the answer. There you go. Aaron Smith has officiated 480 regular season games and 2 playoff games in 9 seasons as an NBA staff official. He made his playoff debut as an NBA referee in the 2022-2023 season. Yeah, we have not had Aaron this year. This is very interesting to be this far into the season and get a referee for the first time for the whole season. Aaron has a pretty good record with us. He has the best record out of the 3 refs. It's a 51.6%, so just slightly above Kevin Cutler. So technically a 52% winning percentage. But the Thunder win 60% of their games with Aaron Smith. So 52-60 is the split with the second ref, Aaron Smith, for Oklahoma City. So, yeah, that's 2 refs for Oklahoma so far, but a record of 2-0. The last ref today is a junior ref. Indeed, yes. Pat O'Connell, number 90 in his first season out of Bayonne, New Jersey. His favorite TV show is The Sopranos. He likes the movie Wedding Crashers. His favorite musician is J. Cole. He likes the book Legends and Souls. He eats steak. He likes to use Peloton also. So these guys are Peloton crew. These guys are in their hotels doing the Peloton. The Peloton, yeah. He must like to visit Italy, and he'd like to attend the Olympics as a bucket list. Well, the Olympics just ended, Pat O'Connell. What were you doing? You could have gone there. Were you going to go to Summer Olympics? Man, I wouldn't go to the Olympics, the Summer Olympics in 2028. No, I wouldn't. No, nobody wants to go to the Olympics in 2028, man. That's dangerous. Seriously. Pat O'Connell has officiated 7 years in the NBA G League, where he worked 3 consecutive finals in 2023, 2024, and 2025. He is also refereed in the Basketball Africa League, including the 2025 Basketball Africa League playoffs. Yeah. Pat O'Connell is not refereed for very long in the NBA. So our record with him is 1-4. Yeah, we've had him twice this year. We lost one of the times, and then we won the last game. So we're 1-1 with Pat O'Connell this year when he's a referee. And we were 0-2 at the beginning. Or we were pretty bad with him. We had not won with him until that last game. So we're 1-4 overall with Pat O'Connell in his very early career. That's 200. That's 20 20% winning. So that's one of the worst winning percentages out of all the referees. I mean, he's just starting out, and we've only won once with him. But still, that he's at the bottom of the ref report spreadsheet. He's literally at the bottom, literally right there. So yeah, it's 220% winning. And meanwhile, the Thunder have had him ref 4 times and they've never lost. So it's 100%. So 20 to 100 for the Thunder with the rookie ref, Pat O'Connell. In some ways, there's not a sample size that's big enough to really get this right. But still, it's true. 1-4 is our record with him, and 4-0 is the record for the Thunder. So there's your ref report. All 3 refs favor the Thunder, man. All 3 refs favor Oklahoma City Thunder record-wise as far as when they ref them. So, yeah, but overall, we were 3-1 with these refs this season. So that's pretty good. We've won 3 out of the 4 games that they've been around. So, yeah, this ref crew is suspicious. This ref crew is not our friend. But also at the same time, because of the weakened state of the Thunder and us having home court advantage, and if we're playing at a high level, I could see this ref crew not being a problem also. But it is not a ref crew for us. Trust me. We're not going to get home cooking probably unless we earn it. Unless we're busting our butt and playing the right way, maybe Kevin Cutler will give us favorable calls. But it's not his preset to do it just because we're at home. We're going to have to earn the calls. We're going to have to earn them out there. And he's more likely to screw us over and help the Thunder by the end of the game. This is an important game because tonight the Cavs and the Knicks are playing each other. And one of those 2 teams is going to lose, and they're going to be closer to us in the standings. And if we win, that'll make it a lot better. In fact, if we win today, we will be tied with the Cavs again because they are a half game above us. And we just win today and we take our own destiny in our hands and beat the Thunder, we will be in the thick of things with the Cavs and the Knicks better. We're rooting for the Knicks to a degree today, but we can't lose because one of them is going to have to lose tonight because they're playing each other. So let's take care of what we can take care of, and that's beating the Thunder. And then let's see which one of those 2 other Eastern teams ends up losing in their game tonight. Because if it's the Cavs and they lose to the Knicks, and we beat the Thunder, we're leaping over the Cavs tonight in the standings. Okay? So if anybody wants any motivation on the Raptors today, you beat the Thunder tonight again. Since you beat them already this year, we can get above Cleveland in the standings and get back to the 4th spot in the standings tonight. So let's not mess around. Let's do this. I don't care who the opponent is. I don't care if that's the champion Thunders. I don't care if they're the top team in the Western Conference. Let's go beat their ass. You know, in some ways it's cool because, like, look, the Spurs beat the Pistons last night. We can beat the Thunder tonight and the Spurs tomorrow. We're doing something even though we can't beat the Pistons so far. It's something at least we beat the team that can beat them, right? In some ways. But anyway, that's your preview for tonight. The refs are not on our side, and they have a favoritism to the Thunder with their records. So it is what it is. I always say if you play hard, you play ethical, you play smart, you will get the favor of the refs because they will reward playing right. That's just a general credo of the NBA referees. If you play right, we will reward you. Now, if we really want to screw you over, we'll do that too, though, also. Yeah, so there's your stuff right there. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying here. Nako's saying this to start off the chat here. Philly didn't sell high on McCain at all. Raps by 18. Yeah, I don't know. The rich get richer. A lot of people are criticizing Jared McCain being on the Thunder all of a sudden and saying, oh, my gosh, these guys just get all the breaks. You know, in some ways, I think that Jared McCain's a little overhyped. Seriously. You know, everybody's saying Jared McCain this, Jared McCain that. He just looks like a smiley, goofy guy who's not taking his life seriously. That's what he looks like to me. I mean, I don't know. Everybody's overhype him just because he was a Sixer or something like that. Who gives a fuck who Jared McCain is? And why did they trade him or let him loose so easily? Red flag. Red flag. Don't just tell me it's VJ Edgecombe. That's why. VJ came in this year, and he's just so good. We don't need Jared anymore. So we just let him go, and he's just all of a sudden on the Thunder. That's messed up. That's crazy. The rich get richer. That's what they say. And the Thunder is such a crazy thing. Like, they're positioned to get all these great draft picks still this year, even though they're number 1 team in the league. Something ain't right there. Something ain't right there. Fiercely saying good morning, fam, and happy game day. Good morning to you, MJ. Always a joy to have you in the chat here with us. And Nako saying congrats to Topic. Topic. I want to say topic, like hot topic, but his name is Topic. Topic. Like toe pitch. Like the pitch of my voice and my toe. Toe pitch. Fiercely saying come back from cancer. Salute to him, but I still need my Raptors to crush Oklahoma City. Yeah, that's a scary thing. You have cancer on your balls. Whoa. I mean, I shouldn't joke about it, but he's okay. I don't know how they fixed it. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. Fiercely saying I shouldn't make jokes about this. I really shouldn't. But in some ways, it's like, yeah, dude, you're a millionaire. You're in the NBA, and you're okay. We love you. You're all right? All right, good. We'll see you play tonight. All right, there you go. All right, let's see. Fiercely saying we need to capitalize and play as if they have their full roster. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, we can't play like – I mean, I don't understand this statement exactly. Play like they have their full roster. What? I mean, they don't. We can't play like for the scheme to have SGA in mind because he's not going to be there. So Darko has to scheme for the roster that he's playing against. But I understand your sentiment. What you're trying to say is like we need to play like they're their full strength and not take them lightly. I don't think we're going to take them lightly no matter who's showing up. This is the Thunder. This is their record. There's no reason to take this team lightly in any kind of way, even if people are missing. Trust me, because they are beating people even without SGA in the last couple weeks. So, yeah, I think your message is let's not take them lightly considering who they have available, and I'm with you on that. I'm exactly with you on that. Yeah. Raptors champs. Good morning, Raptors freaks and champs. That's right. They are one and the same because Raptors freaks are Raptors fans, and Raptors fans are champions of 2019 world champions. That's right. Let's go. And we are world champions because we're a Canadian team. That's right. Fiercey's here saying this. Also, speaking of bullies, the Pistons were extremely physical with Wemby yesterday. Saw footage of Thompson, Duran, and even Cade pushing him. Spurs still won, though. Yeah, that's a testament to the San Antonio Spurs. That's a tough team to beat. They went to Detroit and beat them there, man. In some ways, I'm impressed. In some ways, I'm happy because we wanted them to kind of get knocked down a peg and get a little humbled a little bit. They can play that style of play that they play, but you know what? They're not going to be able to beat everybody with it. And, well, the Spurs were a team they didn't beat last night with it. That's right. Shaq Lindsay's here. Good morning, Shaq Lindsay. I heard that the women American hockey team is declining their visit to the White House. It seems that the president made degrading remarks regarding their win, saying congratulating the men on the phone. Yeah, whatever. I don't give a shit about Trump. Fuck Trump. Fuck his bullshit. Fuck his immature, childish bullshit with his memes and all of his other bullshit he does. Fuck Kash Patel for spending the taxpayers' money to fly there. He's such a big hockey fan. These hockey guys that are around him, fuck you, Austin Matthews, for your bullshit and Team USA and celebrating around a FBI fuckface that's spending the money and all this stuff. He's such a hypocrite. He was saying that the people before in the administration before are wasting money doing all kinds of stuff. Well, where the fuck is all this money you're getting to fucking fly around in your fucking wet dream bullshit of being with Team USA? So fuck all that bullshit. Seriously, fuck this bullshit. Fuck American hockey and all this bullshit. Fuck the motherfuckers who play for Team USA, especially Austin Matthews, you piece of shit. Yeah, I'll say that to the Leafs captain. I don't give a shit. Yeah, kudos to the women. Kudos to the U.S. women and their victory. You guys are awesome. And honestly, I appreciate you guys for declining this invite. They're not the only people declining an invite to the White House. The Seattle Seahawks have done this also. The Super Bowl champions will not be coming to the White House to say hi to Donald Trump because they said a big F you and a middle finger to him. So this is common in some ways. Team USA hockey fans is going, well, fuck you guys, you fucking pieces of shit. And, you know, Trump just makes himself look worse and worse. Apparently, he called into C-SPAN and disguised his voice and said he was John Barron and started talking all this crazy shit. But everybody knew it was Trump. That's how low class and stupid he is. He's putting in crank calls to C-SPAN and trying to act like it's not him when everybody blatantly knows it's him. That country is a dumpster fire. That blue wave couldn't hit hard enough or fast enough coming this summer. Seriously, man. But yeah, I don't like that you brought this up, Shaq Lindsay. I don't give a shit about the USA, the Olympics, or the hockey games that just finished. It's not my area of expertise, and I didn't pay attention. I don't give a fuck. Kudos to the American women for not going there. And yeah, you see the sexism on display between the way Trump went towards the men's team and their victory and the women's team. Yeah, degrading, because he's the fucking pedophile rapist who murdered young women in Epstein's Island, and he has a low opinion of women in general. His party and his people want to send women back to the kitchen barefoot and pregnant and no voting rights and no fucking say in their lives. He wants the Handmaid's Tale to come into fruition in the next 100 years. So women, you get pissed off. You get out in the streets. All you angry moms, all you angry grandmas, all you angry aunts, all you angry young women, get in the streets, because this motherfucker, this misogynist piece of shit rapist wants to take back all the equal rights that women have fought for hundreds of years in the next 20 years. He wants to try and do that, and his party does. So reject the right-wing Republican Party, reject the PC Party in Canada, because these motherfuckers are coming for women's rights. And if you don't believe me, all the overtures are there. They want you to be a Stepford wife. They want you to be a bimbo that doesn't think for yourself and just does what men says. Here, I'm going to grab you by the pussy, and you can't say shit about it. This is what they want. No shit. This is clearly in their plans. We said Project 2025's fucked up, and y'all didn't listen. So listen to me now. These motherfuckers have further plans to denigrate the sex of females to being subservient to males. Yeah, this is what you get here, Shaq Lindsay, with that comment. I appreciate your support of this channel. If you don't listen to me, y'all, I'm Paul Revere calling it out and warning y'all. And that's why nobody should be voting right-wing or conservative or Republican anywhere at this point, because they've shown their ass. They're fascists. And if you think the motherfuckers up here aren't as bad as the ones down there, you're lying to yourself. Doug Ford is just another version of Donald Trump up here in Canada. Danielle Smith, same thing. These people are fucking bad for Canada too. And that's why I'm so proud that we voted Liberal and got Carney in charge, a centrist, instead of having fucking Pierre Poilievre, piece of shit, in charge right now, because we could have the same problems up here in Canada. We need to be vigilant also and understand that right-wing politics right now is anti-human, anti-women, anti-minorities, anti-immigrant, anti-trans, anti-everybody except for white Christian male. So realize this shit. You got me going, Shaq Lindsay. And in some ways, I don't need this shit in my face on a basketball channel because I don't give a shit about USA hockey. And in some ways, fuck you, Trump. I don't need shit to talk about him either, all right? Anyway, there you go. You wanted it, you got it. Fiercely saying Raptors got to match Pistons energy next time we face them. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about this right now, Fiercely. We got the Thunder today. We ain't talking about the Pistons right now. They ain't got nothing to do with the Pistons today. Nothing to do with the Pistons. One track mind. That's right. Darko would say the same damn thing if you came at him with that question. We need to think about the Pistons this way. No, we ain't thinking about the Pistons. We're thinking about the Thunder. We're not even thinking about the Spurs right now. So, yeah, we can't do this. We can't do this. Isaac Campbell's saying that James Johnson, former Raptor, and he had his birthday recently. I remember we had his birthday like last week. He signed with the Big Three League at 39 years young. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, you don't want to go international. Maybe he's acquired a lot of wealth from the NBA and he doesn't need the extra payoff from going overseas, because that's where you get paid the most after this, is going to China or going to somewhere in Europe. You get paid the most after the NBA after that. But nah, he may have the money and say, I just want to stay in the States and I'm going to do Big Three with Ice Cube. That makes sense. Well, good for him. Good for him. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Shaq Lindsay, I'm skipping it. I said what I had to say about that. I appreciate you, man. And I'm not mad at you. It's just in some ways, you guys got to be careful bringing the politics in here, because I'm not really wanting to talk politics at all on this channel anymore. But I will. And if there's something major happening that's really fucked up, I will talk about it. But in some ways, I have to avoid it because, you know, I'm thinking about this shit. You know, Google has been subpoenaed and Google runs YouTube. And they're giving all the metadata to Trump and his White House. And if they continue to be in power, I'm on a list for talking shit about Trump, for talking shit about ICE. Fuck you, ICE. Fuck you, Trump. Yeah, I'm against you. Come find my channel and fuck with me. Yeah, you want to? I hope you don't. And I hope you get fucking kicked out before freedom of speech is trampled on to the point where the Raptors freak is in trouble. So this is serious shit. So understand, y'all, when you ask me to talk politics, you may be thrown into jail in the future. So let's tread lightly with this. Let's only talk about it when it matters. Because if I talk about it every single fucking day, they're going to have all this metadata on Lex talking shit about Donald Trump. You orange piece of shit, rapist, pedophile, motherfucker. That's what I have to worry about. Shaq Lindsay. I'm the one putting my neck out on the line, being on YouTube every day, talking shit. Fuck ICE. ICE, abolish ICE. Fuck all this shit. Fuck the United States, their bullshit. Buy Canadian goods. That's right. That's what I have to worry about, Shaq Lindsay. So y'all, when you give me that little tasty morsel like that, make sure it's worth it. And not just, hey, every day, let's bring up Trump bullshit so Lex gets mad. Because y'all may be adding time on my sentence in the future. Because I'm serious. We could get to this point where these motherfuckers stay in charge for too long, and all of a sudden they're taking people like me to jail just for my free speech and my beliefs. Is this the country the United States wants? That's not what it's founded on. That's not what that country's for. Democracy, freedom of speech, and being the champions of the world for justice and what's right. Nah, that's not what that country is right now. They're making overtures that they might want to come and knock on my door in the future and say, Lex, here's a warrant for your arrest because you have a YouTube channel and you talk shit about Donald Trump. So I'm just saying, y'all, you want this? You want this? I don't know. That's why I said yesterday, if you don't see me in the morning, yeah, something's gone wrong. So I'm just saying, in some ways, my check-in every morning at 9:30 is a wellness check. Say, Lex is all right. He's still here. Yeah, these are serious concerns because they're making overtures of this. But I understand they're more bark than bite. They're acting like they got all this power. But I live in Canada. And God willing, this country will stay sovereign and keep me protected from pieces of shit and fucking Nazis that live in the White House right now. So, yeah, this is what we're saying right here, Shaq Lindsay. We got to look at the whole picture and think about your own social media and what you posted. Because Facebook and Google and all these other big companies just hand over all the evidence and say, hey, these are the people. And then they can sort through it all and they get a list. And then they fucking try and come and bring us to warehouses they're building. That's what they do next. They start with the immigrants and then they start coming for everybody else they don't like. And that's why they need to fucking kick that motherfucker out as soon as possible. That's why every single American should walk off the job and get in the streets right fucking now. Seriously, what are you waiting for? You're in your cushy life, you're scared? Well, you're going to be even more scared when your neighbor's going to jail just for speaking his mind and free speech. So seriously, y'all, take this shit seriously. And if you ask me to talk politics, just understand you may be making my resume boldened out a little bit more for certain things. That, God willing, we will not get anywhere near this shit, and we will pull out of this fucking Nazi America that we're in right now. And we will fucking come back, and we will throw these motherfuckers in jail, and we will fucking do this correctly this time. As far as getting Trump in prison, instead of fucking let his ass run for president again and be in charge again, what the fuck, United States? So in some ways, we got to crush their system in some ways because it is the one that protects him. All right, back to business. And I apologize for that, but I feel very strongly. Can you tell? I mean, I've thought about all this shit. I thought about what's possible. And if they did show up to my door, well, we'll just see what fucking happens then. Seriously. I hope that never, ever happens. And I'm not trying to speak anything into existence. I believe freedom of speech is a right in Canada, right? So I hope that I continue to have it. And I'm in another country that has nothing to do with that country. Exactly. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah, Seymour saying salute. The whole chat today, we got the big W's coming. Have a blessed day, folks. That's right. Bless everybody. Bless everybody if you're a good person and you're trying to do good for your neighbor and for other people. And you're not just a selfish asshole that's trying to increase your bank account at everybody's detriment. Yeah, bless the good people. Bless the humble. Bless the meek. Bless the vulnerable. That's what I say right there. Yeah, Seymour saying this. If a team makes the conference finals, you should not be able to get a lottery pick. No team should be allowed to retain back-to-back top 4 picks. Come on, Adam Silver. You can lead the league into the right direction. Man, I heard some ideas from Charles Barkley that are very interesting. Charles has some cool ideas, man. First of all, what Charles said was, if any team is below 500 in the NBA, they should not be allowed to raise their ticket prices the next season. Wow. Now, there's a motivation for teams to want to win, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, Ed Rogers III. The Raptors were not above 500. You cannot raise your ticket prices this year. Like, make that the rules. Don't you think that would make teams compete very hard if the owner's thinking about the bottom line and saying, well, I can't increase my ticket prices next season? No, because you weren't above 500 team. That's interesting to me. I like that idea. The other idea Charles had, which would fix the draft, is all the lottery teams don't have different numbers of ping pong balls. That one of the biggest problems is that the lottery has, if you're this bad, you get more ping pong balls in the whole mix of things. Charles thinks that there should be one ping pong ball for each team in the lottery. And that's it. You don't get extra ping pong balls if you're the worst team in the league. You just get one. Just like the team that's 12th, they get one. And it's just the luck of who gets from that odds. In some ways, that flattens the whole thing too. These were both very good ideas for different reasons, but also for the same reason, to encourage teams to try to win throughout the whole season. So it's fantastic stuff, man. Fantastic stuff. I think Barkley's ideas are very solid. Very, very solid. But yeah, the whole idea about not letting a bad team get a bad pick, top picks a couple years in a row, it's interesting to me, but I don't totally like it. Because in some ways, some teams are just badly managed, like the Wizards, and they're just going to always be at the bottom. And in some ways, they should have the rights to get good players every time, even if they're fumbling and getting into play. I don't agree with Jack Armstrong's statement or what Seymour's kind of saying, that if you're a bad team over and over again, you shouldn't be able to continue to get top picks. I don't agree with that. I think that, you can draft top picks 4 years in a row, and 2 of them might be busts. And you do kind of still lose and still down there. I think that there's other ideas that are kind of better ideas that make more sense. Because, these teams, they don't want to be right at the bottom all the time. The Wizards are trying, but they're inept and they fuck up, and they just don't have a lot to build off of concretely to get to good things, because where do they start? They need a good coach. They need a good front office. They need a franchise player. They need all this shit. And it's like, just to get a couple of the pillars of what you need to build, like, we're lucky. We're smart. We got a good coach. We have a good front office. And that's part of the reason why our rebuild can happen really naturally and easily in some ways. But the Wizards don't have anywhere to start from. So it's tough to say, man. I like Barkley's ideas, though. I really do. Reggie's here. Good morning, Reggie. Thank you for supporting the channel. Left his glove in the ring. And Shaq Lindsay saying American white hockey players never took a stand when it comes to police brutality in the Black Lives Matter movement either. Most league did, NBA, NFL, and the MLB. Yeah, I'm really disappointed in it. In some ways, it's just white supremacy showing its ass. Like, I hate that. And this just feeds a lot of Stargate stuff about hockey culture and how it is racist on the down low. I'm going to say this right now. Anybody who endorses Trump, you're a racist. Anybody who endorses Trump, you're supporting a pedophile. And I don't know how you can stand with yourself to do that and think that you're a good Christian or a good person. You're not. You're a fake Christian. You're full of shit. And like I said, that's why I'm so disappointed in those American hockey players with Kash Patel. They should have walked out of the room and said, why is he here? He's ruining this moment. And what? That guy just wanted to have a little moment to be, woo, I'm in with you guys. Who the fuck are you, bro? Don't you have a job to do? Why are you on a pleasure trip into another country around the world on the taxpayers' dollars and playing your little dream? This man needs to go to jail too. Christie needs to go to jail. Cash needs to go to jail. Every single motherfucker that's involved in the government right now needs to go to jail for the most part. Seriously, man, it's bad. It is bad. Seymour saying it's so obvious the hate is still real and alive. Yeah, it's fucked up, man. And as a white male, I understand racism, even though I've never been on the other side of it in the way that I was subjugated to it by, in the way that people of color are. I grew up in the United States, in Tallahassee, Florida, in the South. And I grew up in a place where the KKK was active. I grew up in a place where half my classmates were black and half my classmates were white. And when I was a little kid, I had friends that were both. And I had friends that were white that told me at a certain point, why do you hang out with the N-words? And I said, why? They're my friends and I like them. And it was like, well, it's not, you shouldn't, because you're white, bro. I dealt with that shit when I was like 5, 4 years old, 6 years old, really, really young. And my father taught at Florida A&M, the black college in Tallahassee. And he taught me very early on about race and the right way, as a Canadian parent would. And growing up in that environment and being in the middle of that kind of shit, I understand racism because I was a white guy in the middle of it and I could hear all the racists and what they said. But I also had my best friend who lived in Frenchtown in downtown Toronto, Tallahassee, which is the projects. And he couldn't even do his Halloween trick-or-treating. So I would give him half my candy from my neighborhood because it wasn't safe for him to do trick-or-treating. So it's like I come from this very honestly as a little kid, as a person who never saw color as a difference between people. And I saw the racists and I heard the ugly shit they said. And I saw the ugliness in the society that I grew up in Florida. And it has shaped me. I did not grow up in Toronto. I did not grow up in a city of multiculturalism where everybody just took this for granted and they did things in a way that is more aligned with what it should be. I grew up in that place that I just described. And that's why I feel so strongly on this. And that's why in some ways, when it comes to race relations, Lex understands this shit on levels that I wish more white people would. That's what I say to that, man. That's what I say to that right there. Yeah, Jordan saying, cheers, Raptors Nation. Cheers to you, Jordan, from Canada. The great country of Canada, sovereign forever, true north, strong and free. Let's go. That's right. Seymour saying this right here, man. Yeah, let's see. Where is Seymour's here? The more money you have, the more chances are you will get away with it. Sad but true. Well, that's why we as the people overall need to destroy the system. This money system's made up bullshit. Seriously, like we have more power than they let us know. If we get organized and we do different things different ways and community wise, we can upset the whole system. We can change it. We can. It's just that they're going to pay a lot of money to have stormtroopers to enforce the system. But I'm telling you, there's different ways to do things. There's a lot of different ideas, whether it's getting more to bartering, whether it's getting more in local communities and banding together and keeping resources there. Because in some ways, systems may collapse. And the way we get our goods and the way we get things from city to city is not going to be going on. And in some ways, y'all need to get community organized and figure out what your resources are in your areas and be ready for trying to figure out food and all the other things that people need to survive in a local way. Just trust me on this. In some ways, I have foresight and I understand a little bit of what's coming. I can't see the full picture, but some of this is, and some of the over vibes that are coming towards us is get self-sustainable for yourself, because we will not be able to depend on the systems that we currently live under because they're going to collapse and everybody's going to be ahead. And that's why I'm saying, get out in your yard and grow your own damn food and get more sufficient for yourself, because I don't know exactly how this is all going to change. And we all want to be prepared and ready for the new age of what's coming. And the other thing is the fact of AI and shit like that. That is a part of it. It's all a part of it too. Trust me, man. It's crazy, man. Here's Stan Lex. My Pistons comment got split with Shaq's. It was a follow-up to the first one. I know we're playing the Thunder tonight, and we already commented earlier. Yeah, I know that. But I'm like the coach, and I don't get ahead of scouting anything other than what's in front of us. I'm mirroring Darko. If somebody comes to him in the interview and says, what do you think about the Spurs? And you say, no, I'm playing the Thunder. I don't care. That's all I'm doing right here. I'm not trying to personally insult you or anything like that. It's just I don't think about other teams. I have one team I'm thinking about for the Raptors, and that's the Thunder. And one team I'm thinking about for the 905, and that is the SkyHawks. So, yeah, no, I get this. In some ways, that sounds like that is a crosstalk. Maybe what I got me confused there. Shaq Lindsay saying this: for all you Maple Leafs fans who support Austin Matthews, I question your morality and your allegiance. And TSN, yeah, I would say this, man. Because listen, Austin is American. He's from Phoenix, right? He's from Arizona or something like that. I mean, look, Austin Matthews, where do you stand on this? Could you make a political statement? Or are you scared? Would you be worried about somebody coming at you if you did say something or denounce something? because we need more courage. We don't need more groveling. We don't need more bootlicking. We don't need more people being scared. We need real people like me. They're going to not be afraid to speak out and show defiance and show resistance and show that this is not right and stay tethered to the real truth and not the full bullshit world that they're trying to build. So this is all so important. Austin Matthews, you have a platform. You have influence. You know, do something, say something. I'd have more respect for you. But instead, we're going to just act like, oh, this is okay and this is all right and all this bullshit. Seriously. Chimpo chimpy, based. I don't even know what that means, man. Shaq Lindsay's saying, sorry, my comments, but my support is for the women. I'm with you, man. I'm not upset with you, man. It's just I'm a reaction. That's what I do on this channel. On the down low, I react to y'all's comments, and that made me really mad. The stuff around the hockey stuff this weekend makes me mad. It's not because we lost. It's not because we lost. It's because of how asshole the poor winners are and how they're acting. Whether it's Trump with his bullshit, like juvenile bullshit, and any kind of way he does things, you know, that's kind of the thing that annoys me the most. I have all the respect in the world for the USA women's hockey team that just won the gold. Congratulations. Fantastic achievement. And thank you for standing up in the way you are right now. And it is a very strong dichotomy difference between the men's team right now. That's for sure. I mean, I'm still a strong believer that the future belongs to women, that men have fucked up this last age. And inevitably, women will be in leadership and should be in charge because men are warlike and stupid. And we act in dumbass ways. Women are nurturing and caring. And this planet's going to need their energy more than the fucking dumbass male aggressive alpha Andrew Tate bullshit out there. Fake ass, shallow, weak men that have to act like they're tough and be misogynist and abuse women because they're actually scared little children inside. Andrew Tate, that's what you fucking are, you piece of shit. I'm more brave and manly than you ever will be, Andrew Tate. And I could put a resume against your bullshit resume and I'd show you, motherfucker. So, yeah, I would just say this. Toxic masculinity has ran this world in the ground, and the women need to take over. The divine feminine needs to take over this world. We have more and more leaders around the world that are female, and that's for the better, whether it's the president of Mexico or wherever. I'm just saying there's better leadership in women today, and that's why the U.S. fucked up when Elon stole the election and gave that to Donald Trump. He did not win. Kamala won, but there's misogynists and male chauvinists in the United States who would never, ever let a woman be president. And they happened with Hillary, same thing. They stole the election then too. Because honestly, I don't think he won either election. He didn't win the one against Biden, that's for damn sure. And he didn't win the two against the women either. It's just the powers that be are male chauvinists, couldn't have a woman in charge. So they're trying to hold this off. But I don't think they can stop this. But this world is progressively moving in this direction. And female leadership is going to save us, guys. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be all the mothers out there that worry about their children, bringing that energy and saying, nah, we've had enough. Fuck y'all. There's nothing more dangerous than a woman scorned. And nobody's talking about how much and how powerful women can be when they get pushed to certain limits in certain ways. And that's what's coming, y'all. The men have fucked this all up. They're fucking arrogant pieces of shit with the dumbass shit. And I'm telling you right now, we got to have better leadership. And that's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Burns is saying, look at Mexico, scary. Yeah, that situation in Mexico is because of the United States. Everybody don't want to say that, but it's the truth. The cartel wars are totally funneled and powered by the United States. They give the weapons to the cartel. They sell them to them. The American arms manufacturers sell the weapons that are killing so many people over in Mexico. And, you know, just like a lot of the South American countries, the island countries like Haiti and other places are manipulated by U.S. politics, like the blockade on Cuba right now. It's all U.S. meddling with countries. The issues for Mexico are a lot from the United States. So the violence in Mexico would be a much better off country if it wasn't right next to the United States. Trust me. They probably have a whole lot of other great things going. But the United States funnels the drug war. And this is what happens. I said the other day, when a leader of a cartel or a mafia or a gang or something like that dies, there's a power vacuum. And all of a sudden, all the secondary guys are gunning for that spot. and literally gunning for it. And that's why there's more violence all of a sudden. You can think about the Godfather movies. You can think about the Sopranos. You can think about Sons of Anarchy. Well, these fictions are actually based on some truths that we found in organized crime, that when the leader is gone, people want to take his spot, and there can be battles to try and get that spot. And that's what's currently going on in Mexico right now. Now, it sucks that there's thousands of Canadians that are stuck in a resort town because of what's going on there. But don't look at this as indicative of Mexico being a cesspool. Remember, a lot of all the problems, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in South America, whether it's in Central America, are caused by colonialist powers like the United States and the UK and other places that have come and set up these situations for these countries. They want problems in these countries. They want unrest. They want people to be fighting each other in these countries. And they will manufacture situations where it's likely to happen. So that's what I say right there. All right, let's keep going. Seymour saying, did you see the Americans looting in Mexico? What a dump, like Trump. I didn't see that. I'm not trying to watch the news, Seymour. You guys in some ways are bringing me stories. Like, I didn't know about the Mexico situation until y'all brought it up the other day. I did go and look into it and see what it was all about since. So I'm a little more informed. So Shaq Lindsay saying, I just want our Raptors freaks to take notice. I'm okay if you don't read it. Just give me a dunk. It's all good, man. Shaq Lindsay, man, you're one of the best Raptor freaks. Seriously. And we've had a journey with you over the years, and I appreciate you so much. Don't worry about this. Seriously. I want to be as authentic as possible. And if you guys put something out there, I have to react to it. That's just the rules of this channel. And I don't mind, what I'm saying. I've decided I'm okay with this situation. I thought long and hard about this over the last 6 months, about what do you want to do? And I've realized, you just have to be you and be very, very brave. And whatever comes down the road, well, I'm going to at least know that I've stood true to myself and I didn't sell out and I didn't cower to fascists because they're trying to scare everybody. Fuck them. They can't scare me. And you motherfuckers want to get in my face, come get in my face. I will fuck you up, whether it's with my words or somehow. In the end, I will get you guys back, even if it is as a martyr. So I will say that right there. Yeah. You want a dunk? I'll give you a dunk. I'll give you a dunk, my guy. Yeah, in some ways, we don't want to even bring anything. If it's not basketball, if it's not Raptors, let's not bring it in here, seriously, right now, unless it's absolutely necessary, because these are touchy subjects, and I have strong opinions about them, and I will go on about them. 27 for Shaq Lindsay. Yeah, in some ways, it's a hockey story. I don't care about hockey. I don't want to talk about hockey. That's right. Burns is saying Scottie Barnes, Defensive Player of the Year. I love that. Yeah, that's a good one, Burns. Good to see you, Burns. It's been a little bit, man. It's good to see you, man. Everything is expensive. Yeah, and that's manufactured. That's part of it too. Like, that's the costs are being driven up. The American people, they did the Economist study, and the tariffs have been passed on to the Americans. They've had to pay way more for everything. They've had to pay more for their health insurance. Everything's going up. And in some ways we don't, that's what I'm saying. Like, if the system is so difficult to manage as an ordinary person, there will be changes. There will be uprisings. There will be problems, one way or another. And it's like, when do we all kind of get together and say enough is enough and put our foot down and say we're changing things for the better for most of the people, instead of just being for the better for just a couple of people, that's the thing we got to worry about, man. Scottie Barnes, Defensive Player of the Year. Let's go. Let's go. I'm all about that, man. Not going to say Trae Young and Anthony Davis could be neat, but they're brittle like peanuts. Once again, I'll say this. Washington Wizards is a destination that you go to when you're pretty much done. Like, nobody else wants you. So, like, Trae Young, Anthony Davis, yeah, they're not great assets. And in some way, Adam Silver needed to move them off of the teams they were on because it was toxic and bad. There was really bad toxic stuff between Anthony Davis and the Mavericks guys. And on the down low, same thing with the Hawks. Things had just gotten to a point where Trae Young did not need to be around that team. And in some ways, Adam Silver will go ahead and orchestrate these deals. And I don't even think the Wizards actually are GM. I think that they're just a league team, and it's just a dumping ground for players to come to that. I feel like that's what's going on here. because both those players are negative assets at this point, whether it's Davis because of his injuries or Trae Young just being a player that doesn't win because he's a defensive liability. And it's just his player build. It's just that in this age, in this era, maybe he was a good player when he first started because the league was different then. But the league has evolved and it's changed the rules. And in this league, Trae Young is not powerful. Trae Young is a liability. So, yeah, I have these feelings about Washington Wizards in particular. Smooth saying, I feel weird because I have an Austin Matthews jersey. I didn't expect what I saw regarding who was in the locker room. Yeah, it's sad. And you hate to see this kind of shit. You know, if I was a principled member of that team, I wouldn't have, even though it's a classic moment, you want to feel the energy and be happy. You know, in some ways I would be mad because you ruined it, because you had this fucking bullshit happening around it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And the other thing I'm hearing about that game, which I didn't watch, is the Canadian team actually outplayed them and were better than them. And it was just kind of a fluke that the USA won that game. That's what I'm hearing too. It's like in some ways the US didn't totally deserve to win that game. And that in some ways the Canadians played way better than them most of the game. You know, I didn't watch it, so I don't know. Smith saying Austin Matthews is half Mexican though. Mom is Mexican, dad is white. That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know. In some ways, Austin may have very good views. I don't know, but it just association is the thing here. It's association right now, you know. Shaq Lindsay saying, I just find these playoff teams are more gearing up for the playoffs and will be targeting our weaker players. Also, Jacoby, right? I'm guessing you're Jacoby or Jakob. JK needs to be ready for the playoffs, which means more playing time against playoff teams. No, you mean Jakob. Okay, yeah, don't put JK. If you do put JP, his actual initials, or put the A in there so that I see it's Yak. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of management with Yak in his back for the rest of the year. And that's why no back-to-backs. He'll take one night off. And we don't know like how it's going to ebb and flow within like the issues with the back. It could be that he has some bad times again, and he has to miss games before the end of the season. But we'll trust Dr. Alex. We'll trust Bobby. We'll trust the team. We'll trust Darko. We'll trust Jakob to kind of go through each procedure and understand what's best for him. And honestly, you're right. The most important thing is to have Yak ready for the playoffs and healthy. And if he's not playing as much during the last month of the season, that's why. That's why right there. I can see that. Yeah. Trevor's saying James Johnson signed with Big Three. Where were you? Somebody already said that. I think Isaac already brought that in. Trevor, you're not paying attention to when people are breaking news. You're reposting a lot of stuff and you're duplicating. You're duplicating. Somebody already said this. Isaac said this earlier already. Jimmy's saying Scottie Defensive Player of the Year would be so cool. Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. I don't think it'll happen this year. I think, well, the thing that's in his favor is this. Wemby's not going to make his games. He's going to miss games and not be eligible for the award again this year. He wasn't last year either. That's maybe a knock on Wemby is like he's not staying healthy enough to play 65 games. Then he's not going to get any postseason awards in his career. That's why health is wealth. And that's why in some ways winning these awards you're going to have to play. So that's in Scott's favor. You know, who are the other top candidates? The guy we're seeing tonight, possibly Chet Holmgren, but he's not going to play tonight, possibly. So Chet Holmgren doesn't make 65 games. You know, maybe it is Scott's Defensive Player of the Year to win because those guys will get canceled out because they don't qualify. Wemby's for sure not going to be qualifying for the postseason awards. They're saying Nikola won't qualify for postseason awards. So, yeah, that's part of it right there. SGA could be in trouble if he misses too many games for too long, right? That's interesting part of that rule. And maybe Scottie does finagle his way into a Defensive Player of the Year, partly because of guys that aren't eligible. Partly. Yeah, I could see that, man. I could see that. G saying the WNBA admitted they were profitable last year. Now revenue sharing is on the table. That's interesting because like I heard that and they're going to be able to, it's like $8 million of revenue that's going to be shared with the players. And some of them will get as high as like $500,000. And that's just extra money paid from out of that. They've done this in the past. They did this around when we won our championship, except the money was much smaller then. It was like $500,000 altogether. And all the WNBA players got a little bit of it at that point. But yeah, this proves to the detractors and the naysayers that the WNBA doesn't make money. Well, it does. It does make money. It didn't make money at certain times in its history, but it is making money now. And the money is derived from the TV contracts and the merchandise and the ticket sales. And the merchandise has actually ballooned in the last couple of years selling WNBA merchandise. So it all makes sense. The old male chauvinist idea that, oh, women's sports don't make money and the WNBA doesn't make money. That's not true. That is not true. That is not true. That's right. G saying Canada way outplayed them, but America had the best goalie, 41 saves. That wasn't the goalie from the Jets, was it? Was it? No, I don't know. I don't know which goalie played for them. I don't care. In some ways, I don't need to know this information. It would just take up RAM space in my brain that I utilize for the NBA and the Raptors world. And in some ways, I don't care. But yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard in different places, that it was a valiant effort. It was really close. And, hey, in some ways we can be good losers and say congratulations. But when y'all act like y'all do after that, well, you make yourself look bad, USA. And everybody else. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Jimmy's saying if we go crazy and win some really notable games and he has really good performance, he legit has a chance. I agree. And this stretch coming up right now is like that, Jimmy. We're starting with the champs tonight. You got the Spurs tomorrow, and we're going to get the Knicks again very soon. These are spotlight games. And, these are great games right now, especially because we're healthy, to show growth this season. If we finally beat the Knicks and get past this losing streak against them that is going on for a couple of years now, that would be fantastic. That'll be a real progress marker, showing that we are getting better as this season goes on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this stretch is a tough gauntlet of games, but it's also a very good opportunity to show the league and wake some people up to just how powerful and how possible the Raptors are as a contender in this league. Brandon Ingram's going to be key. RJ Barrett's going to be key. And Colin Murray-Boyles and IQ. And yeah, we're going to get out there and we're going to show some stuff. And hopefully we have some wins in games that people didn't realize we would. Because if you think about what happened when we beat Oklahoma City in their arena earlier this year, we got more notoriety after that and we got more respect. And more people took notice of us then. We sweep them for the season tonight, beat them tonight. We swept the champs for the season with the reigning MVP. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Maybe we're not allowed to beat Atlantic Division arch enemies like Boston and New York because the NBA league is setting it up so that we won't, whether it's the schedule or the ref crews. But with no messing with us, we can play against the top teams in the West. We can beat them. That says something right there. Because they do care about whether we lose or not to the Knicks and the Celtics. They really do. They don't want us to have winning season series against those teams because they don't want us to have an advantage just in case around playoff time. And they do really rough hit job us when we play those particular teams. They do it with Brooklyn a little bit too, but Brooklyn's such a bad team, they can't get away with it. But they definitely do it with New York and Boston. Let's say that right now. Let's see. Spurs beat Pistons last night. Yeah, we went over that also, Trevor. I feel like you don't watch me. You're just putting stuff in there. We did talk about that already. Let's see. G saying it took the NBA 35 to 40 years to become strongly profitable, and the NHL 20 to 25 years. So the WNBA is right in line with most, if not all, major leagues' profitability timelines. I'm going to give G a dunk for that because that's a good point. I mean, the NBA didn't really become profitable until 80s. Seriously. I mean, they were making small profits in the beginning at different times, but the really big money and it exploding didn't happen until Magic and Larry and Michael Jordan. So, think about that. That's the 80s. The NBA started in 1947. Yeah, 40 years. And the WNBA is going to get there in 30. And that's not that bad. That's not that bad at all. Gee, really good point. You're getting a dunk. You're at Dominique Wilkins 21. Yeah, or Thad Young 21, I should say. There, yeah. Yeah, let's see. Troy Henry, good morning, man. Longtime Raptor freak Troy Henry. Salute to you, man. Good to see you, man. Good morning, gang. Game day and AM Pump. What a game for Precious Achua. Was he a big game player for Sacramento against the Grizzlies last night? The Kings ended their road losing streak. They had not won a road game in a long time this season. And they went into Memphis last night and beat the Memphis Grizzlies on their home court and ended that streak. And I guess Precious had a good game. That's awesome. That's awesome. We always love our former Raptors, people like Precious Achua. Shaq Lindsay saying, do you think Grady should play more against lesser opponents and have Jacoby play more against playoff teams? I think they should just keep doing what they're doing. I think that Grady needs to play both types of teams. I think that in some ways it serves him better to play the very, very, very best. Now, do you want him have him out there if he's not doing well for too long, where he's screwing us up? No. But you should give him a chance every game to get out there and try and make a couple shots and help on defense and hustle and do what he can. If he has it, continue to play him. If he doesn't, then, you lessen his minutes in the second half. It's kind of what we've been doing already with him. I think that it's important because this is what we've dedicated ourselves to this year, to continue to allow Grady to be in the rotation, even if it seems like he's failing. Because in some ways he's not totally failing right now. It's just he's not looking good to us, but there's a lot of little things that he's doing on the team to try and improve and develop as the season goes on. And it's just that his progress is not translating into the games right now. But he could have a breakthrough, and all of a sudden Grady Dick is playing more like he played in his second year all of a sudden. And we just got to hope for that. So no problem with Darko continuing to have him in the rotation. It's just, you feel him out for that game, and then you decide what you do with him as the game goes on. You got to at least try him out. Give him at least 2 or 3 shots, see if he's hitting, and let him keep going if he is hitting. If he isn't, and it's kind of like, okay, he's a liability on defense in some ways, yeah, you got to bench him. But give him that initial play and give him that tryout, because in some ways we've done that consistently all year. I think Grady's one of the only guys on our team that's played almost every single game this year. I think he's missed one game. Maybe not. He may be one of the guys that absolutely has played every game. So the reason for that is because you want Grady's confidence to be ready for the playoffs. Play against lesser opponents might help. Yeah, I can see that kind of thinking, but I think it's the reverse. I think that you'll get more confidence. Like, think about this. If Grady doesn't really play great against Milwaukee, a team that's out of the playoffs, and he played on Sunday, but he comes out and he plays really good against the Thunder tonight, that's a huge confidence boost because that's the champs. And in some ways, this is a tougher game. So I think that you want to roll the dice and give him opportunities against the tough teams, because that could be a huge confidence builder, right? Does that make sense? Jimmy's saying, I have a feeling Grady could pop off and hit a shit ton of threes in the playoffs. That's the other thing we have to realize. Shooters can be streaky. And just like Fred throughout the 2019 run, think about him early on in the rounds, and then think about him later against Milwaukee and Golden State. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We know about Gary Trent Jr. We just saw him. And we know when Gary's really on, he can be really on and flirting with a 40-point game. So, in some ways, Grady's like that. It's just that we haven't had a whole lot of shining games that are really fantastic from him enough this year to really feel like that is the regular him. We've had more of the other, and that's why we think that's the regular him. But, he could have a game tonight, and he looks real good. And maybe we say this right now, and it happens, and we'll come into the stream tomorrow, and we'll talk about it. We're like, holy shit, we were talking about Grady going off, and then he went off against the Thunder later on that night, man. That'd be interesting, man. Troy Henry's saying we're not giving up on none of our players. Everyone has their moments of slow-mo. Yeah, that's part of developing. And that's why in some ways some teams give up on players too quick. Maybe that's true with Jared McCain in Philadelphia, and they'll come around and bite them in the ass. And it'll be one of the common Philadelphia fails with the front office, whether it's drafting or moving players. That kind of stuff could happen. We could move Grady, and then all of a sudden he blows up somewhere else and we look bad. There's a lot of people speculating on Reddit about what's going to happen with Grady next year. And, he's going to be with our team next year again, but next year's a make or break year. This year we can kind of say, all right, this is a transition development year. He had to come off the bench and he was coming off the starting lineup last year. Next year, though, he's going to have to figure it out and really prove who he's going to be in this league. And if it's a duplicate of this year, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. So, the other thing is this summer, he's got to really, really make this summer count. He's got to personally grow in his summer this year, because next year he's going to have to come back better prepared and better ready for what he's got to do in the NBA. Yeah, I got this feeling, man. That's right. Jimmy's saying, I just feel Grady tries to do too much sometimes. Let it fly when you get the ball in your hand and get rhythm. Man, I feel like he's overthinking it to a degree, but also at the same time, he has to. This league is so quick and so strong and so big that in some ways, I feel like sometimes he's getting left behind. It's almost like, oh shit, and then he's like trying to catch up and catch his the guy he's supposed to be defending. There's a little bit of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Sometimes if guys aren't as fast as other guys and they're less athletic, they've got to be like telegraphic and they have to be really ahead a couple steps. And that may be part of what the disconnect is with Grady's development, is that he's still got to be like cerebrally, intellectually thinking ahead and kind of anticipating, because he may not have the quick first step to get after the person he's guarding and they're around you. So he's got to do some premeditation on everything he does on the court and kind of think two steps ahead of everything around him. It's like, the greats in the league are like that. LeBron, Magic Johnson, Scottie Barnes. They can tell what's going to happen a couple of steps before it happens, and they can telegraph. Well, Grady, for him to be successful in the NBA, he has to have this. And he does. I've seen him do it. I've seen him have telegraph kind of mentality where he can be a couple, like reading the play and how it's developing and go to the right space in the right place and be ready. Because in some ways he's getting beat because he's not fast enough to anticipate and get in front of the guy before he drives around him and gets around him, and then he's going to the basket. This happened in the last game against Milwaukee. It happened just right there. Yeah. G's saying, funny you say that because McCain already went off in one of his first few games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes, maybe it would be like different settings. Grady would flourish more because he's on a different team. But I'll tell you right now, that team's below 500. That team is not a winning team. What is Grady's priorities? Like in some ways, like, would you like to be a bit player on a really good team like you are this year? Or would you like to be a main player and starter on a really shitty team that's not going to make the playoffs? I mean, that's his choice. I mean, he could go to Washington. He could probably be a starter there, right? And he could probably get 20 points a game, just like he did for us last year when we only won 30 games. It's just, that's the difference. It's like, do you want to be on a really good team that's deep and it's going to win and maybe even win a championship? Or do you want to be on a shitty team where you can just get a lot of stats and look good personally as an individual? It's in some ways that's kind of what it is right there. All right, let me get into my tabs real quick here, guys. Let's see. We'll do, you know what? I'm going to do straight goods on Canadian goods right now. This is something that I feel really strongly about. And we had this strike in around Christmas, the postal strike with the Canada Post. Canada Post is a Canadian entity. It is something that is valuable. And what certain politicians want to do is privatize our mail. Privatization is one of the worst scams in the world, and the United States epitomizes it. They privatize their healthcare, and well, all that does is put some blood-sucking parasites in between you and your health. If the government just gives the money to the hospitals and the hospitals are in the government and you just come and get the care, there's no person in the middle siphoning off money and making the costs go up. And that's the whole problem with the American healthcare system, is that it's got parasites in the middle of it. Well, certain politicians up here, Doug Ford, want to privatize our healthcare, privatize our education, and privatize our postal service. And why? Because they have friends that they want to enrich to be in that business. As necessary businesses for us, we need education, we need healthcare, we need the post office, but they want to help their friends make money off of those systems. So, the government still pays for these systems. It's just that their friends are enriching themselves off of it. And that's the biggest farce. They'll tell you that privatization saves money, but they're absolutely lying. It's much more efficient to have the government in charge of these entities than to have private companies involved, jacking up prices and giving you better service. And that's what it is. They'll say that, oh, the healthcare system's failing in the government. That's why they're trying to make it fail so that they can get this gravy train for Ford's friends to be involved in the healthcare system here. And all of our prices for healthcare go up. I mean, we have free healthcare. Why the fuck do we want to pay healthcare to some of Doug Ford's friends and have to pay out of our pocket? No, we have free healthcare because our taxes pay for it. But basically, Doug Ford's friends would get in the middle and steal our tax money and enrich themselves in a really fucked up way, like the U.S. is. The U.S. is not a model to follow in any kind of way. And privatization is the biggest malarkey in the world. So if you hear people that are for privatizing our healthcare, privatizing education, privatizing the post office, tell them, fuck you. I like my tax dollars to go straight to the government and let them deal with it. They say government waste. Bullshit. There's way more waste when these fat cats get in the middle and they jack up prices and they just care about profits. We don't need hospitals for profits. We don't need education for profits. We don't need a postal service for profit. We just need these services, and the money should be from the tax dollars to the government, and the government should administrate this, and there should be no private interests in this shit. Does that seem very simple, what I just said? So why the fuck do PC government officials want to privatize our public services that we already have set up and are working fine? Because they're greedy, and they want to get a slice of services that are essential to our society. And it's fucked up. You know, they would charge you money for the air and the breath you breathe every single day, every second, if they fucking could figure out how. Trust me. So yeah, support something great about Canada, and that is government services. Don't listen to them. What that bullshit with Doge and Elon Musk was a farce to steal all the data of the Americans. They weren't trying to make the government more efficient. And in some ways, you know, the government up here is more efficient than they say. The PC will say, oh, the government's not efficient. They're doing this and do that. They're lying. What would be not efficient is involving their friends to get a cut in the middle as a middleman. That's absolutely unnecessary. So against privatization of our public services every single day. And if I just educated you on this subject in a better way, does it make sense what Lex just said? Would you rather just your taxpayer money goes to the government pays for the hospitals, and there ain't no fucking medical insurance company in the middle trying to take a price and your prices go up? Yeah. Yeah. It's real easy when you lay it out like that, right? Straight goods on Canadian goods, protect our public services from privatization, including Canada Post. That's right. That's right. That's a big one right there. That's a big one right there. All right, Instagram stories. We're jumping right into it. We got Lindsey Dunn at spring training for the Blue Jays still, doing stuff down there and interviewing all the different players. And she's also saying a happy heavenly birthday to her favorite human, which is her father. And this is sad. She's got a nice couple pictures of her dad wearing a Saskatoon Rough Riders shirt and playing Uno with her and different stuff like that. You know, happy birthday to Lindsey's dad, man. Wherever you are, I'm sure you're up in heaven, my guy. I'm sure you're up in heaven. There's Andrew Jones with the World Basketball team and his staff. And there's a picture that Andrew Jones Jr. drew, an artist of his family. There you go. Your sisters are very tall. He drew his sisters really tall, and he's like little. It's kind of crazy. Eugenio Maroy still got that championship hangover from Baskonia. There he is with a champagne bottle, doing a little dance in the locker room. Man, you go on, Eugene. You're having a happy life, man. Yes, Sirski is right, my guy. Look at that, man. Look at all those trophies. Look at Marquise Noel smiling big, being a champion over in Baskonia. Man, this is the life of a professional basketball athlete. You got your NBA game, and now you're a champion in Spain, Marquise. I love that, man. I love that, Mr. New York City. You go on then. You go on then. Yeah, AJ Lawson with an action photo of him sitting on the sideline, getting ready in his Black History Month jersey. Let's see. This is really cool. CBL is putting on blast that for Team Canada and the team that's playing right now, the roster, most of the team is CBL players. Pretty much all of them except for 4 of them play in the CBL, which is really cool. We got 2 Scarborough Shooting Stars that are on Team Canada competing in the tournament right now, and that's Cassius Robertson and Jackson Rowe. So very, very cool stuff. CBL, very, very, very good professional league. Y'all check it out this summer when it starts back up again. Seriously, check it out. It's a really good league, man. RJ Barrett posting a play from the game against Milwaukee on his Instagram. It was that little give and go with him and Jakob, where he did the little back pass to Yak in the lane. It was such a pretty play, man. That was such a pretty play. Leo Routen's got his hair did again. He goes to see his friend Giorgio. I think that's his name. And Leo Routen's always posting the post barber haircut picture. 905 playing today, College Park SkyHawks. We got to go in Atlanta. Let's beat them, Andrew Jones. That's right. We got Fred VanVleet with his kids on blast. I think that's Layla. Little Layla is growing up quick. It's so cute. Maybe it's her birthday or something. I don't know, but she looks so happy. Is that Layla or is that the older daughter? It looks like old pictures of her, maybe newer. No, that's the younger daughter. That's Layla, because Sonny's much bigger than that. And Fred's playing with her. Just cute stuff. Let's see. What else? Slim Duck is got all kinds of goofy photos of kids acting out and being crazy. And he's on the Nintendo Switch or something playing Pokemon is what Chris is doing. Yeah, he's all about Pokemon right now. Anyway, that's the Instagram stories right there. It's a pretty light day for Instagram right now. All right, let's do the Raptors Redditor of the day. Today's Raptors Redditor of the day is Tight Spread 5981. And their question is, and there's been a lot of questions lately that I'd like to answer about trying to go to the games and what to do. And this question is best time and area section to get autographs. Why is everybody trying to do this? Like, are y'all autograph hunters? Or is this like a kid that really just wants something signed? Now, this is what they're saying. Hey, everyone, I'm going to the game today against Oklahoma City and just seeing if anybody has been able to meet the opposing players and has info on getting a signature. I have a pair of SGA's shoes. I know it's unlikely I'd actually get it signed, or even if SGA is making the trip. He's going to be here. He's going to be here. I don't know why everybody thinks SGA is not going to be here. But just curious if you guys have any information. Thanks. Let's go Raptors. Yeah, first of all, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be at the game tonight. Everybody who doesn't think he's coming home to Canada to sit in the arena in Toronto, you're crazy. Of course, SGA is crossing the border and coming with his team, and we'll be sitting on the bench. So everybody's thinking, oh, because he's not playing, he's not going to be at the game. You're crazy. He's going to be at the game. Now, this whole question, I mean, I don't like this. I feel like more and more of the questions on Reddit are getting stalkerish. Like there's another guy on Reddit that is asking this about visiting team hotel question. Hello, everyone. I was wondering if anyone knew what time the opposing team leaves their hotel at. I've seen people post getting autographs and photos with players, but I'm not sure what time I should go if the game starts at 7:30. Thanks for any help. Why the fuck are you acting like a stalker? That's what I would fucking say. This is the best way to gauge it, buddy. All right. Are you a fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder? Well, when do they post the pictures of them and their fits when they're walking out of the hotel? That may be a good clue of when they leave the hotel, is when the fits are taken pictures of. I know the Raptors are on the road. We do the fit pictures, and sometimes they're walking out of the hotel when they take them. Either way, this is not the behavior you need to be doing, stalkerish surveillance kind of shit. Let the players have their private lives. And if you really want to get shit signed, go to a official event where your player that you want to get something signed will be at, and then you can do it then. There's a proper place and a time. And in some cases, not going up to somebody while they're eating their meal or they're in a urinal in a bathroom. Have some tact. And I don't like this. Like, who the fuck are y'all people? Are you these autograph hounds that just want a lot of signatures on stuff because you're selling shit on eBay? Because in some ways, the players are not interested in being accosted for autographs all the time because they know about you guys. And you come and flood them around in the airports. These guys, these professional autograph seekers. Now, if you want these shoes signed for your son, and you just want to have them for your son as a memento, well, that's the right reason. I get that. But the problem is there's so many people ruining it for everybody by being these wholesale autograph seekers. And they really do ruin it for everybody. Now, once again, the person who's going to the game and sitting in the 300 section, the person who's going to the game and expecting they're going to get shit signed by the players, just stop doing that. The security don't want y'all down there. The players are not trying to come and sign everybody's shit when they come to the game. Some of them will. Some of them will do things out of their goodness of their heart. But there's a time and a place for this shit. And fans sometimes don't know those times and places. And honestly, it's awkward. I would say this. I've been going to Raptors games the whole 30 years of its existence. And there's been only one time I ever got an autograph from a Raptor player at the arena. And that was from Tracy McGrady. And it was like an hour after the game ended. And the only reason why I got it was because I ran into him by accident in the concourse near my stand at the arena. I was an employee, and I was able to stay in the arena after they kicked everybody out because I worked there. Now, trying to get up close to them and get autographs is a fickle thing. There's a time and a place, and in some ways, get ready to be rejected. That's basically what I would say, whether it's rejected by the security or by the player themselves, because, nah, I'm busy. I got to go to the back. I'm trying to get taped up. So there's a time and a place for this shit. And I would say in general, the Raptors fans or fans around the league, fans of SGA, Oklahoma City fans that are in town right now, you go to the meet and greets. You go to the organized events where these players will be there for 2 hours, stand in line, and get your shit done then. The game is not the place to get this shit done. And the fact that there are so many posts on Reddit right now about trying to meet the players, trying to get access to the players is silly to me. This NBA security thing, they ain't trying to have fans all up on the players as much as possible. And if you sit in the 300 section, you're not getting down there because your tickets don't say courtside. So they're not going to let you anywhere near the fans if you're in the 300 section. I mean, they're not going to let you anywhere near the team. So just understand this. Now, if you're sitting near the Oklahoma City bench and Shea is sitting there in street clothes and you hold up his shoes, he may ask you to pass them to you. But don't get it twisted. This shit is rare. And in some ways, this kind of stuff shouldn't be expected or just think I've granted this. No, you will be lucky if you get this shit to happen, is what I say right there. So, yeah, there's the Raptors Redditor of the day answering the questions about people wanting to get autographs and shit signed at the game. That's just not something that is the place for it in the most part. It is in some degrees. Sometimes, maybe after the game, leaving the game, and people are hanging the jerseys over the side. Yeah, they'll sign stuff. But usually before the game, maybe a little bit. I saw Chris Boucher literally leave the court in his warm-up shooting shots and go into the crowd and just sign a lot of autographs for people. It depends on the individual. It depends on what they want to do. And that's it right there. That's it right there. Yeah. Yeah, Shaq Lindsay's saying they were trying to push that agenda by privatizing TATC. However, the government doesn't want no part of it. No private sector wants to take over TTC because there's no profit in servicing the public for pennies on the dollar. Laugh out loud. That's why, in some ways, capitalism is flawed. It is so flawed because it is based on exponential growth and profits over profits. Like, you're not considered a successful business if your profit margin doesn't grow each quarter. Well, that's not realistic. Especially coming up, there's going to be a whole bunch of companies going, because all kinds of shit is disrupted because of bullshit that's going on right now. So it's like, if you're running certain things as a business and trying to make money off of it, no, the certain things are not supposed to be run this way. And the TTC, I guess, in some ways is not able to privatize to the point where it's viable. So they don't want to touch it. That's hilarious. That's great. That's fantastic. In some ways, it's immoral to make money off of the hurting and pain, dying and maladies of people in their healthcare system. That's immoral to me. People that make money off of privatized healthcare, off of people getting sick or not doing well, you guys are going to hell. I'm just going to say that. You're going to hell, seriously, because that is not the right action. You're making money off the misery and sadness of people, and you're jacking up their prices and making their lives miserable. Like somebody in a loved one is dying, and people are paying so much money for different things, they bankrupt themselves and they lose their loved one anyway, all because some fucking fat cat had to make the money off of it. Seriously, that's why free healthcare works. It works around the world. It only doesn't work in the United States because they're greedy and they're fucking blood leeches and they're taking their parasites off of their own people. And we don't want to be like the U.S., do we? No, we don't. In any kind of way. Any kind of way. That's right. That's right. I guess they're stuck paying for it when they are in a deficit every year, which is unfortunate for us taxpayers, but it is essential. Once again, that's what tax money is for. It's not to have a surplus. It's not for Donald Trump to just steal the tax money and put it straight in his pocket. This is for the services. We pay our taxes for roads, for libraries, for fire department, for police, for all the services we do. And people will call that, oh my gosh, it's socialism. Yeah, because socialism is the actual ism that is for society. But people hate socialism and they want to look at every sector and try and make money off of it. And it's toxic, it's parasitic, and it has no future, because all these systems will be run into the ground because of greed. And it's happening right in front of us right now. The system is run into the ground because people got too greedy, and it doesn't work for people anymore. And at a certain point, when it doesn't work for a certain amount of people enough, we will get up in arms and we will change this shit, because the power is with the masses and the people. You know, that's what the thing that everybody has to remind themselves is they don't tell you how powerful you are when we're all together. And that's the thing. That's part of the reason why they have to cause us to be fighting with each other, whether it's left versus right, whether it's white versus black, whether it's whatever it is, immigrant versus non-immigrant. They want to divide us up, because if we all get together and we actually get our shit together, we will fuck them up. And we will. We're going to get our shit together, because all the illusions are falling, and all the made up divisions that they put in front of us are absolutely kind of full of shit at this point. You know, everybody's like kind of seeing through it, unless they're dumb and they're just a racist and they want to hate people. That's one side of it. But most people that are clear thinking, ordinary, normal citizens, can see through all the division and understand it's not serving anyone. You know, whether it's like we get rid of the two-party systems in the United States, or even the party systems here, you know, at some point we may not be running on platforms of liberal or PC or NDP. It's more, this is a person, they have these ideas, and we like these ideas. And no more of this infighting where one side's against the other and we're not getting anywhere. We just want people that'll be in charge, that have answers, solutions, and they're leaders. And we don't give a shit about who they are or anything like that, because they're coming to make society better for everybody. And that's going to be a big part of the revolution coming up, is the dissolving of the party system and all this bullshit that they've been spending so much fucking money on in politics for commercials and all this other distractions and fighting and like acting like the liberals are against the PC and all this shit, but they're the same. That's what I'm saying. We're going to be fed up and we're going to be like, fuck all this shit. We want real leaders that have true answers and solutions. And we want to go in that direction. Mandini is symbolic of this in New York. He is this kind of leader, and he's having a real impact for the people in New York right now. So we need these kind of leaders. It's not a centrist leader. It's not one of the two parties. It's a whole other thing. They're not even in that system, and they are for solutions and not just division. Because all politics has become at this point is division and hating each other. The stupid people are like, I hate liberals so much. And stupid people are like, oh, I hate these people so much. And they're just going at each other. And it's not even, the whole thing is about let's make solutions and enact them and have a better society instead of just wasting all our time arguing. You know, this is where we're getting to. And this is good, because this will be part of the new positive changes in the new era that, you know what, maybe that's part of the systems that will collapse. Is people are fed up with the political bullshit, the whole idea of left versus right and all this kind of stuff. A lot of us are just ordinary citizens, and we don't give a shit. And we're in the middle, and we're kind of like, you know what, fuck all this shit. You could be a little left-leaning like me. You could be a little right-leaning like somebody else. And we actually have more in common than they tell us we do, because they want us to be against each other. And when we stand up and say, you know what, we're not that different. You want the same things that I want. And they told us we should hate each other. I don't hate you. I don't hate you either. Let's get together and let's go take it to them now. Yeah, that's what I see coming. And it'll be better for the world, trust me. Because this political system's all jacked up with money and influence and corporate influence. In some ways, we don't want those kind of leaders. You know, Mark Carney is a centrist, but he is in the hand of the globalists and also in a lot of the corporate stuff. And in some ways, he's protecting that line, even if he's in the middle. And in some ways, you know, it's like we can't totally trust him, because he's not for the people. He's for the corporations. And we need less politicians for the corporations and more politicians for the people. That's what we need right there. All right, let me keep going. Let's see if there's any breaking news this morning about lineups or anything on Blue Skies. I don't see anything. It looks like it is, well, they're talking about boycotting the State of the Union tonight on Blue Skies, is what they're saying there. Let's see. I'm getting close to the end. Y'all, reminder, we're back in action with our fantasy league. So if you're one of the teams in our Yahoo Raptor Freak Fantasy League, Make sure you're keeping up with your team. We did start another week. And, well, you got your matchups. I'm playing Bryce this week. Bryce Lawson, you're going down. That's right. We're going to play today this week. That's right. All right, let me get the classic card and we'll wrap up. Yeah, we're going to get done in 2 hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, let me see. Man, classic cards are awesome. Oh, wow, this is fun. We'll do this. I drew this one just I just pulled it out. And this is the one I got. So here it is. Full name answer, please. If you want the classic card points. I'm not going to show it too close. Let's see how close it takes to get to till somebody gets it. I'll bring it in slowly. Let's see. I want to see how far away. It's like an eye test at the doctor. How far can you see it? It's coming in slowly but surely. Ooh, Dwight Howard. That's a good guess. It's not right. There you go. Slug Deezy knows. He's seen it. He's seen it. Yes, it is. Look at this beautiful DeMar card. Look at this shiny mosaic DeMar DeRozan in a San Antonio Spurs jersey. Oh, man, I love this card. I'm going to keep this one, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's DeMar. You know what? That's interesting, though, James, that you said Dwight Howard. I mean, because he does have some shoulders. In some ways, it's the shoulders that you're like, but DeMar has shoulders too, I guess. It's like, yeah, I can see that, man. But, yeah, this is awesome, man. I'm going to give you 100 points for DeMar today, James. Slug Deezy. Because, you got that from a distance, It's not so easy. You saw that a little bit further away. So we're giving Slug Deezy 100 points. In some ways, it's 10 times 10 for our guy number 10. That's right. There you go. 100 points. Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let me do the wrap up and we'll get out of here, man. And, fiery session today. Fiery session today. But listen, once again, I'll say this. The views and opinions expressed on this channel are solely mine. They're not of the Raptors organization, the NBA, or any of the players. And your views are your own views too. And, my views are not necessarily all y'all's views, but I appreciate the ones that do kind of see things like me. But yeah, listen, everything I said, you may not agree with everything I said, but hopefully maybe some of y'all opened your eyes and maybe understand just how serious things are in today's world right now. We can act like things are normal right now, but they are not. And everybody who's just going about their lives in a normal way right now, thinking that this world is not changing drastically in the next 5 years, you are kidding yourself. So you go ahead and think that the life you've had for the last couple of years is going to be the life you're going to have in a couple of years from now. You're wrong. So be ready and understand some of the things I've been saying and be more educated and aware, because they don't want us to be aware or understanding exactly how all this is going down, because in some ways they're trying to hide some of the shit they're going to do. So whether you agree with me or not politically, whether you agree with some of the things I said, maybe there's something I said today that caught your eye and caught your ear and said, wow, actually, I didn't think about privatization like this, or I didn't know about that with the Republicans' plans for women in the next 250 years. Yeah, they have a literal document, just like Project 2025, that they've written out, and they want to put the woman exactly where I said earlier. They want a Handmaid's Tale future. It's almost like Margaret Atwood, the great Canadian author, wrote them the blueprint for what they want to actually enact in real life. So if you've seen the Handmaid's Tale show, that's what they want, y'all. Just so y'all know. And that's why, if you're a good citizen and you're a person that wants justice and equality for all, men, women, everybody from all backgrounds of life, you cannot support right-wing politicians at any place in the world at this point. You can't support the PC. You can't support the Republicans, because that's what they stand for. They stand for subjugating people if they are not certain things. And it's very clear. It's not like they're even hiding it. They may have had it underneath all these years, all along, but it's all right in the open right now. The evidence is there. And if you're denying what I'm saying is true, you are either a bootlicker or somebody that's in on it, because it'll benefit you. But if you want a future for your children, especially your daughters, that is good, you will reject right-wing fascist politics wherever you live in the world. and it's a fight on every front. The U.S. is very heavy fight. Canada, it's a fight here too. It's a fight in Australia. It's a fight in Europe. It's a fight in Asia. It's a fight in Africa. It's a fight everywhere. And it's against fascism. It's against people that would tell you what you are allowed to say and do. And if you don't, they will come and take you to jail. And that's why, even if it could be scary or, woo, you know, they're threatening to come get people like me, I will still do this. Because even if it happens, which knock on